Hello everyone, I'm Damini, your host for today, and today I have with me a very special guest, straight forward from Mumbai. We have with us Mr. Ambuj Sonal, who is an associate partner at Legal Mumbai. Welcome, sir, and thank you so much for accepting my invitation on a very short notice.
Thank you, Damini, for inviting me. And I think this interview is going to help a lot of audience, especially in the field of law. And I look forward to answer your questions.
Thank you so much, sir. So without taking your much time, because we're recording on a weekend, so I would like to start the interview by asking a very basic question because the viewers are in law school. We're going to post it on LinkedIn so the viewers from the law school or the fresh law graduates are going to watch this video. So this is a very, very important question, sir. When you were in law school, what sort of activities you did to enhance your resume? What sort of academic things you did? What sort of non-academic things were you indulged in?
Nothing much. I think I was in Chanakya National Law University, and any national law university has a curriculum which includes the lectures as well as the extracurricular activities, including moot courts, debates, legal aid cells. So I was part of everything. I used to participate in moots on regular basis. I've represented my college also, as well as I was pretty much active in the parliamentary debate sessions, plus the extracurricular activities, including the cultural, sports, as well as I actually formed and started the free legal aid cell of the university. So I think that gave me a lot of exposure. Obviously, you will be tied up with your weekends and everything. Because we used to hold some sessions, seminars during the weekend. So your Saturday, Sunday is also gone, and you're busy with lectures on the other weekdays. But the exposure wise, I think overall personality development, that was very important when you interact with various law students of other law schools during your debates, moot courts, and also you visit a lot of places while you're in something like a free legal aid service. You also research on laws and domestic as well as international laws, which will help you to develop your personality and your CV at length. So I think for law students, what I would say, they should participate in everything which is possible, and probably they can identify after first year, second year that which things are suitable for them and where they are more interested in.
So that was about your law school journey, but I would really like to ask this question because whenever we talk about internships during law school, that actually forms an integral component of the curriculum as well. So I would really like to understand as to when you were a law student, what sort of internships you did, particularly in which area of law?
So frankly, I'm a first generation lawyer of my family. I had no connection in law firms. I knew none of the lawyers, in fact, when I started. Initially, it was very difficult for me to get the internships. So when I think I didn't get any fixed internship up till like third year of my law school. So I used to go to Delhi, take out printouts of my CV, go to all the boutique firms, individual practitioners, law firms, submit my CV, request them to give me 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever it was convenient. And that's how I learned a lot of litigation that time, district court, Supreme Court, as well as High Court. One company I got through a couple of in-house internships I did, which was with DLF and Tata Steel, which also gave me a good exposure. And through the college in fourth year, I got internship in DH Law, where again I ended up getting a PPO. So that's how I started with DH Law in Mumbai. So internships for me were actually a very, very difficult thing uh, because I had no references. Uh, but there are a lot of firms and lawyers who helped me a lot, who gave me the opportunity to learn. And references are one part, but I think merit is what counts at the end of the day. So there are a lot of law firms who take you through merit also. So I would just ask all of you to be hopeful, because if you have merit, you'll definitely get through.
I can vouch in for the fact that, okay, I am also a first generation lawyer and I'm
Sorry,
also
Damini, I can't.
struggling right now.
Yeah,
So, like, you specialize in corporate M&A. So we would really like to understand that when you were in law school, you chose your area of specialization that time only, or after an internship, or when you started working, or something that actually fascinates you that, okay, M&A is very fascinating, let's go there.
Not really, frankly. When I started in 2012 with DH Law, which is now Link Legal, uh, I was working with a managing partner, Nusrat Hassan, and he is a experienced and a legend in a lot of fields, including M&A as well as arbitration and dispute resolution. So I got the opportunity to learn everything in my initial days. For the first 1.5 years, it was a mixed match of experience where I did some arbitrations, domestic as well as international, along with some transaction. But finally, I settled for transactions because I think the interest was there, and I was lucky enough to get 1.5 year to decide which practice area I should choose. So that way, it helped me. But yes, I think insofar as practice area is concerned, uh, you have to decide that whether you are interested in a particular practice area or not. For internships, if you do like 4 weeks internships, it is very difficult to decide whether you are interested in arbitration or so. But I would suggest students to like pick up, if they have done internship, couple of internships in a M&A team, they should take up the arbitration team next time, or a project team, or a banking team. So there should be a mixed match so that they have the idea which field to choose after they graduate.
But sir, like people often make, snap decisions of joining litigation, joining firms, or going abroad for LLMs. We would really like to understand your decision of choosing corporate apart from litigation or doing LLM abroad. So what was the reason behind, joining firms, doing internships in firms, and then joining the firm, and now you're working at Link Legal?
That's a very funny thing because we were from Patna, which is in Bihar, and no one preferred. But when we started, I think that's a funny story I'll tell you. When you start in law school, in first year of law school, everyone is like, I have to work in a corporate law firm in the corporate practice area. Everyone has that agenda. Slowly, when you start reading the corporate laws in your third year, then you decide this is not the thing which I want. And actually, when I was studying criminal law, I was very interested in the IPC, CRPC, and evidence. I got good marks also. But and then I decided to be a criminal lawyer. But at the end of the fourth year, suddenly you see there is no opportunity. Then people start deciding about masters and academics. So there are multiple options you start looking when there is no certainty. I think for students, there are a lot of students who are quite focused that they want to do the higher studies. A lot of people are doing PhD after masters, uh, but there are a lot of students who are not certain also, and they look for the opportunity as and when it comes. So it depends on your individual character. If you are focused that I have to do something, you will obviously plan your CV accordingly and you plan your journey. If you are not sure, then let the opportunity knock your door, and I think take it up whatever comes to you. Because as a lawyer, I think at the end of the day, it's all law. You have to read and you have to analyze.
Since you work in a law firm, I would really like to ask this question because I think you're the right person, like who can answer this question. What are the like significant barriers, or what are the challenges that young people nowadays face when they start working in a law firm or legal in-house or something like that? Because you're also in that position, so you might be able to answer this question. That what are the factors that actually challenges young people nowadays, especially after COVID, that sometimes they feel like don't working in a law firm or something like that? So what do you think that are those challenges that young people face, or what are the challenges that you also face, if there are any similar connections between you and the young people now?
I think I'm still young and I'm very well connected with the younger crowd. But yes, so to answer the question, I think see it's a very difficult question because it all depends on your approach. To survive in a law firm, a competitive law firm, sometimes it is a very demanding job. Sometimes it is extremely competitive. You have to be on your top at every day. Every day you have to come to office and prove yourself that you are the best and you are going to do the job. So competition wise, it creates a lot of stress, frankly. In the initial days, since you are not knowing the transaction, you have to read a lot before you do anything. Okay. So in my opinion, and my boss also says this, if you want to survive and practice law per se, you have to fall in love with this profession. If you don't love this practice, I think it's very difficult to manage because it is very, very demanding. So I think the approach should be for the first 3, 4 years, the approach should be to learn what you're doing, to master yourself. Then you start getting the opportunity of leading the transactions. And at the end of the day, you get promoted where you can actually market, do the business development, get the clients. So that's how the approach should be. It should be divided into 3 phases of career. I mean, that's what I have learned in my last 10 years of experience.
That was all about the firm culture, like how it operates and the challenges you face. But let me ask you another question. So, like, COVID pandemic was very unpredictable. That was all of a sudden. Nobody knew that it will ever happen to anyone. But sir, do you really think that fresh law graduates or even the law students saw this COVID-19 as a golden opportunity and bolstered their resumes with hell lot of events? And do you really think that these sort of events, like doing everything, attending those webinars and all that, or just doing everything that happened during the COVID-19 would actually help people in getting PPOs from the law firm? Or will it really help for people who want to go to abroad for foreign LLMs and all that? So will that really help in their application processes?
So I would answer point wise. First is what I see during COVID, people did a lot of webinars. The students also got engaged in a lot of webinars where they invited speakers, qualified lawyers, experienced lawyers to talk on certain topics. Those were highly beneficial for a lot of audience, especially the student crowd. But I would see it as a networking opportunity where they interacted with a lot of people from their field and they created a whole network for themselves. That would definitely help them. However, I think the webinars and everything would have been more helpful when students would have utilized that time for research and doing the topic by themselves. That is point number one, because as much as you read, you excel and your skill is developed in this particular. Now, I think one loophole was because the students were not attending the colleges, everything was virtual. They were not reading the books. That is something which is very, very difficult because if you don't read the books, you don't read the judgments, you rely upon online sources, then the understanding of law is not well furnished as it should be. When you're in college, you're going to library, you're studying everything. That was something which they missed out, frankly. Coming to the virtual webinar is one part. Second part would be the virtual internships. Now, virtual internships, this COVID scenario gave a lot of opportunity to students to work virtually from their home. And if you see one people who does like 2 internships in a year, they have done something like 6 internships virtually. So number of internships increased, but in my mind, for a fresher or for an intern, the learning which comes while attending the office in physical, there is only 20% learning while you are working virtually. This also affects the rapport because when you are physically doing internship, you can create a rapport with your seniors and they can look at you as a potential resource. That rapport creation has been affected very badly while virtual internships. So that's basically not beneficial for the students. But I think I see that webinar is one thing where they created the network, but at the same time, the rapport building in a particular firm while virtual internship was affected.
But apart from this, people like me who are actually aiming from firms, PPOs or something like that, do you have any advice for them, or like what are the key things that people like me should remember when I am aiming for a PPO from a law firm?
So PPO is, I think it's about your hard work. It's about your skill as well as your luck also a bit, because you need to be at the right place during the right time. So when you're working with a firm, you are putting all your hard work. So one thing is obviously you have to concentrate, and whatever assignment you are given, you have to put your 100%, and then the rapport is created. Now, when I say you have to give your 100%, that's a very general statement which every senior will give. But how do you look at it? How I look at it is very simple. If I'm saying you give your 100%, it means that if I have given you a research note to prepare during your internship, you will send me the note only when you think that you cannot do any better. While sending the email, if you see that you can do something or you can improve on it, don't send it to me. So my only judgment criteria is whether you have given your 100%. You, even if the note is wrong, if you tell me that this is the best I can, I appreciate the hard work. So I think that should be the approach wherever you work. If you are given an assignment, before sending it, read it once and see whether you can improve it or not. If you are able to improve it, don't send it.
So in a way, you are saying if there is a scope of improvisation of something, do that as well. And at the end of the day, when you feel like it's done, totally done, then it means that you have put in all your efforts. So is it something like that? Yes. So
Yes, yes.
I think we have talked much
Of course.
about. Yes, so please continue. Please continue.
No, no, what I was saying by 100%, I mean that once you are done with the assignment, you read it yourself. A lot of time, because of time pressure, you would ignore a lot of things because the time is running against you, and you will just say, "Ki, it's finished and I'm sending it to you." But that should not be the case. I think if you can do better and then send it.
Yes. So I think now, till now, we had only formal conversation, and I think the audience might be thinking that why are we not shifting towards our rapid fire game? So now it's the time for us to play the rapid fire game. And now, sir, I'll be asking you some random questions, and you quickly just have to answer them. And I'm sure that you'll be able to answer all of those 10 questions in a very, very rapid manner. So here we go. So first of all, you need to tell me, if you are given a chance to change your profession, what would it be and why?
I think I would be a traffic police,
Acha, why?
because I feel that
Traffic police, that's a very unique answer.
because that's what I wanted to be since my childhood, because I used to think they are very powerful. By one hand, they can stop the entire.
I think people who do law, they think that clearing judiciary is something you become very powerful, but that's a very unique answer, I must say.
That's a childhood dream. So I'm good
Okay.
with that.
So the percentage of attendance you had in college?
60, 65.
Oh my
I don't
God.
remember.
But 70% is mandatory.
Yeah, I think, but I gave some undertaking, and
Okay, okay.
frankly, I don't remember the percentage. But I didn't get any attendance mark
Okay,
that I
okay.
remember.
So the best internship or internship where you learned a lot?
DH law internship in 2011 in my fourth year,
Okay.
which resulted in a BPO as well.
So I think I should ask you this question now. Corporate lawyer is equal to what?
Equivalent to your advisor is
Okay.
like a doctor for the companies.
Yes. So your area of expertise.
M&A, PE, VC.
So the worst experience of law school that you would really like to share with all of us.
Worst experience.
Yeah. The worst.
That's
Like you
difficult.
remember it till now.
I really enjoyed all my entire 5 years. Uh, I really can't say that something which was really close, because the law school gave me all the opportunities. I think the worst experience was when I went to a very big college for library internships during my first year. Our university was new and they could not issue the I-cards. So they had given a note to the universities. And when I met the principal of this big university, I can't name it, they were like, "Yeah, I even don't know that there is an LU existing in Patna." And
Oh.
my answer was like, "Ma'am, I'm really sorry, but you should be aware of your competitors." And then I left.
Okay. So the best social media handle.
I think LinkedIn,
Okay, why? I know that you're very
because
active
it
on
gives me,
LinkedIn, but why? Because people could have answered that it was Instagram or Facebook. So why LinkedIn?
LinkedIn gives you everything. I think it gives you the knowledge. You can read articles, you can update your knowledge, you can see what is happening over the world instead of looking into somebody's personal life where they're vacating or what they're enjoying. I think LinkedIn is more utilization of time than any other social media.
Your mentor.
Nusrat Hassan.
Yeah, you said that you were working with him only, and now also you're working with him. That's a great thing.
Yes.
So you talked about your worst experience of law school, but what was the best one?
Best one was I got my life partner. I married my girlfriend from law school.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, we were
So,
dating from first. I think that's the best thing I got.
yes. So I think I should ask you this question because you're very active in, like, you're a corporate lawyer as well. If you are given a chance to amend any provision of any act, what would it be?
Nothing.
You think everything is fine?
Yeah. So if you give me an opportunity, either I'll amend everything so that
Okay.
the entire world is confused and I get a lot of assignments to advise what is the amendment, or let it be.
That's great. So I think that's a last question for this rapid fire, that if I give you a chance to produce or direct any movie, so what sort of theme would you come up with and why?
Movie direction. It's a very difficult question. I am completely not into movies that much. But I think I would narrate a story which is inspirational. And so there are two genres which I enjoy, maybe biopics which are inspirational or maybe a murder mystery.
Okay. So you'll do that, right? So should we wait for
Yes.
some time, like some years, and maybe you'll come up with some theme and we'll just make that movie?
Not
Should
at
we
all.
wait?
I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I'm sorry.
So I think we are done with the rapid fire now. So now it's time to wrap up the whole interview, sir. But before wrapping up our interview, I think that's very integral question. I think the viewers who might be watching this video, they'll be surely waiting for me to ask this question to you, that we would really like to understand the recruitment process at your linked legal. What is the process, and if you have been providing internship opportunities, or what is the process overall?
So the process is very simple. I think we are open to merits. The internships get fixed on meritorious basis. So frankly, it depends on the timing when you apply. If you apply too early, it can get missed. If you apply on time, like 2 months before your semester breaks, that's the ideal time to apply. And if we have the vacancies and if the slots are available, we generally give internships to various law schools. We do not hesitate providing internship opportunities to students other than NLUs. We have given internships to a lot of students who belong to traditional law schools. And I think there is no uh, I think we also ask the students preferably in which team they want to enter so that they can choose and they can then plan their internships. I think the process is very simple. You need to apply to the HR. There is a HR ID on the website, and HR then shares, and with obviously the preferred dates and preferred location of our offices because we have multiple offices. So I think there is a very simple process as compared to any other firm, and we are very open to provide internships to students belonging to all the law schools. Preferably in my team, I prefer somebody from third year onwards because
Yeah, because
those
people
students
start
can get
reading corporate law from third year onwards.
yes.
So this is how the recruitment process goes on in your firm. So I think that was a very nice conversation with you, sir. So before wrapping up the whole interview, I would really like to ask this last question to you. Any sort of advice, any sort of suggestion for the viewers who want to watch this video and take some inspiration from you? Any sort of advice for them?
So the viewers who are law students, I would like to advise only one thing, that enjoy these 5 years. Okay. These days are never coming back, frankly. At the same time, just do whatever you're interested in, because you can see, if you see my CGPA, that is not a very good CGPA, but I was very active in other extracurricular activities, which had helped me in a lot of learning, developing my personality, the overall personality. So CGPA is one thing, but I think you should enjoy every bit of these 5 years, every bit. So don't fight with your friends, because these friends will be there for life.
Yes. And also, any advice for those like after COVID-19, the fresh graduates were of the perception that market is totally lowered down. So, any sort of piece of advice, any
I think
motivating word for them?
during COVID, the market was down, but now it has picked up, and it has picked up a big time. So there is a lot of opportunity standing on a door. You just need to choose the right opportunities. I don't think COVID in any manner will be a question mark in your CV, because as recruiters, as law firms, we completely understand that there was COVID for 2 years. And even if you have not done your internships during those days, that is already discounted. So I think that is not going to make any difference to your life insofar as your career is concerned, because the market has picked up. You will get jobs in every practice area, in almost all locations. You just need to apply to the right place.
Thank you so much, sir, for these motivational words. And I must say that this interview would really help those who are going to watch it. And I think the fresh law graduates or even the students who have now entered third year or are in fourth or fifth year, this interview is going to be very helpful for them, especially if you are aiming for corporate sector for sure. And I must say, sir, that you're very active on LinkedIn, and people who want to get in touch with you after this interview can surely text you on LinkedIn if you allow so.
Of course, please feel free to do that.
Apart from just
And thank
sending your like resumes that sir please provide us an internship, that won't work, but yes, if they have any other doubt regarding corporate sector or any other career advice they want to take from you, they are surely welcome to text you on LinkedIn.
Of course, of course. I believe in giving back to the society, and I am always available for any guidance which the students require.
So thank you so much, sir. With this we end our conversation here, and we look forward to more collaborations with you.
Thank you, Damin. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time.